Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're looking at another small fighter. This one is called the Saber Snub Fighter, which is this lovely thing over here. So this is a fighter that features two railguns to blast your enemies with, as well as a very small compact design. Pressing F10 and finding it in the spawn menu, the Snub Fighter is 561 small blocks, using the Warfare 2, Wasteland and Decorative Block number 2 DLC packs. We've got a nice lot of information about it on the Steam Workshop page, so give this a thumbs up. We move all the way around towards the very front, we'll have a quick look around the outside, then we'll fly around for a bit and maybe go visit some space pirates who keep flashing their signal at me, their distress signal, and we can go help them by firing the railguns into them. But anyway, front and centre, what we can see is a remote control block in case we want to use this as a small drone. Behind that we can see our white fighter cockpit along with some white, orange and black steel blocks. We can also clearly see our two railguns to blast your enemies with, and this ship has been well thought out, so it only use a maximum of about 50% of your power while both those railguns are recharging. If you were to move around onto the side, that is what it looks like. We do have two Gatling guns on here just in case your target doesn't die from those railguns. Yes, we can see an overall great design, some great use of our hazard skin blocks, there's some magnetic plates underneath it, then cross onto the wings, some great use of our armoured panels, now some magnetic plates underneath the ship. Moving along and towards the back we can see a bunch of blinking white and red lights, there's some more hazard skin blocks towards the middle of the ship, there's some ion thrusters help push us around while in space. Then coming to the very back of the ship, we've got one large hydrogen thruster and two small hydrogen thrusters, along with the 4 ion thrusters to push us around, which should give us a nice lot of speed. Coming down and below, we've got ourselves a cargo container for us to load in any kind of uranium, load in any kind of ammunition for the ship to use, just a quick access point. Then moving all the way up and looking down at it, that is what we get along the top. It's got one hell of a lot of ion thrusters. There's our warfare battery, there's the blinking light on the opposite side, and we can clearly see how our railguns have been set up. Going towards the front and dropping down underneath this, past our cockpit, got another hydrogen thruster, there's our two Gatling guns. To put my light on for just a second, another warfare battery, some more ion and hydrogen thrusters, then towards the back there is a hydrogen tank, along with two red blinking lights. And there we go, that's a very brief look around the outside of the Saber Snub Fighter. It looks great with his overall design, some fantastic use of the armoured panels, just acting as fins here and there, as well as some great use of the coloured blocks, just giving that overall great pattern. But now just grab hold of my character, bring up the HUD, these are the only controls we get. So pressing number 1, this is going to be for both our railguns together, where we can fire it, and we will be pushed back a little bit. Pressing number 2, that will then switch to our two Gatling guns, where we can just fire them straight forwards. And then if needed, we can come into the remote control access, take control over the ship, and fly it around like so. So like I said earlier, you could set up like a drone station and remote control this to its destination, so you don't risk your own life when you're going against an unknown enemy. Anyway, coming out of the remote control, what I can do is bring up the HUD. We can do a quick little test fly, and I'll leave the HUD up like so, because it should be a flash, there it is. Oh, it's somewhere in this direction, but we'll come over to the space pirates and then start blasting it. So moving forwards, this is what we get. We've got one hell of a lot of speed, which is great for a small fighter. Coming to a stop, we feel a little bit slower, and we should have plenty of gyroscope controls, so if we are in a bit of a pickle, we can do a 180 and stop ourselves a lot quicker. Moving left, and moving right, we're a bit slower than forwards and backwards. Moving down, we're a lot slower than left and right. And then moving up, we're a lot faster than moving down. And as you saw when I did the 180 wheeling the mouse around, this is what we get. We have got plenty of control over this, but there is a tiny hint of weight, so it's not too floaty with its control, and it's generally what I prefer when it comes to a small fighter. So now all we've got to do, oh, there he is right there. I was going to say, so now what we've got to do, we've got to wait for the signal, but it looks like he has revealed himself. And we'll go and fly over and blast them. I think that's another one up in that direction. We'll just keep flying in this direction, and hopefully we'll get there in a reasonable amount of time. And here we are at the pirate mayday signal. There they are, we can see the red reticle of how we can lock onto it. And now we're just going to fly a little bit forwards, switch to the railguns, and we're going to hope for the best. They're going to start shooting with their interior turrets and whatever else they got on there, but let's go and fire it like that. And there we go, that was a nice bit of damage onto their crashed little ship. Oh my god, they've got quite a lot of guns on there. I was not expecting that many guns on that, but we are doing a fantastic job at tanking all of those shots. Quite surprising actually, it always catches me off guard how tanky small blocks can be. But now we just fly around to it, we need to get a little bit closer, and start taking away some of their blocks. Let's go and fire the railguns into that. That should be one turret fully disabled. And we can come across over to this section. We need to be a little bit careful. It would have been great to have a camera on this. I just need to come around to that. There's another turret. Let's go and shoot that. That should be nice and dead in just a minute. Hopefully, if we're hitting it. And there goes the cockpit. Can I just repair this up in time before they absolutely annihilate it? And here we go. I managed to fit another cockpit onto this. Just a standard one at the back. We've lost all of our gyroscopes. We've lost all of our guns. So the only thing to do is simply to slam straight into it. And that did a surprising amount of damage to them and not to me. But anyway, I'm having a bit too much fun with this little ship. There'll be a link to it in the description below if you do wish to download and play around with it yourself. Highly recommend you do because it is a fantastic looking ship and it's got a nice sort of firepower on it. So thank you all for watching and I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.